Hello and welcome to my presentation on the Aztec god of life, wind, and morning star, Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl, which means feathered serpent, is said to be one of the most important deities in Aztec and Mesoamerican mythology. His origins go back to at least 100 BCE when imagery started appearing in carvings and temples. By the Aztec period, Quetzalcoatl was associated with wind, maize, and even the planet Venus. According to legend, the Aztecs didn't have access to maize as it was located on the other side of the mountain. Quetzalcoatl heard of this and had turned himself into a black ant, traveled over the mountains, and brought back a kernel for the Aztecs. The Quetzalcoatl carving from the Teotihuacan employs a carving that reflects natural symbolism and theological meaning. Quetzalcoatl's mythology, life and death, sky and earth, and serpent and bird. By embedding this symbolism in the carving, the artist transformed the art into a theological statement. This helps to visually articulate the god's power, his power over creation, sustenance, and balance. The art serves as a bridge between artistry and the spiritual ideology, which reinforces Quetzalcoatl's significance in Mesoamerican religion. Another piece of work of Quetzalcoatl is a drawing from the Codex tradition. Contrasting pigments have different, deeper meanings in the art. Reds are associated with blood and sacrifice, greens associated with maize and the Quetzal bird, and the blues associated with water and the heavens. These help layer the deeper meanings into the Quetzalcoatl painting. All of this helps show Quetzalcoatl's power, the same as the other painting before. Moving on to Quetzalcoatl's power on a deeper level. A single deity could go beyond myth and become a unifying force in Mesoamerica. In Aztec tradition, he was the feathered serpent, god of wind, maize, and creation. Quetzalcoatl's influence extended beyond the Valley of Mexico to earlier ones like Teotihuacan, and later into Maya culture under the Kukulcan. The novel Quetzalcoatl by Joseph Lopez Portillo portrays the god not only as a religious and moral authority capable of shaping rulers' identities and guiding social order. This interpretation repeats and recounts historical accounts in which Quetzalcoatl was remembered as both a divine creator and a cultural hero. Quetzalcoatl embodied ideals of wisdom, renewal, and, as I've said before, balance. His lasting presence across civilization shows how myth and could function as both theology and political ideology, binding diverse people under a shared vision of divine power. From John S. Carroll's A Search for Quetzalcoatl, the god was remembered not only as an agricultural benefactor, bringing rain, wind, and crops, but also as a teacher of religion. Even after the Spanish conquest, Quetzalcoatl's legacy persisted, reinterpreted through European lenses as a Christ-like figure, showing how his myth could be made to fit new ideological frameworks. Again, Quetzalcoatl's influence stretched across civilizations this way. In conclusion, Quetzalcoatl's power in Mesoamerican culture can't be reduced to a single identity. Rather, he embodied a complex blend of creation, fertility, and warfare. As Carl Taub's analysis of the Temple of Quetzalcoatl at Teotihuacan demonstrates, the deity's iconography reveals that Quetzalcoatl was not only a god of wind and maize, but also a symbol of authority. His imagery functioned as a political and religious statement, linking control to divine sanction and reinforcing the city's role as a center of power. By the time of the Aztecs, Quetzalcoatl had evolved into both a mythic creator and a cultural hero, remembered for bringing maize, shaping humanity, and symbolizing the ideals of rulership. Therefore, Quetzalcoatl's lasting legacy lies in his ability to bridge myth and politics, war and fertility, local identity, and pan-Mesoamerican tradition. His imagery reminds us that gods in ancient societies were not unchanging figures, but dynamic forces that shaped and were shaped by the civilizations that revered them.